What up, guys? So I figured today, with all the rain that's going to happen in California, it would probably be a good time to go ahead and review an oil-based pomade. So what we're talking about today is Shear Revival Easy Tiger Firm Hold Pomade. Basically, it's one of their newest products. Came out around the same time as Door. And the thing is, it's kind of supposed to be between their medium, the one who knocks, and their heavy, Music of Misery, and it's kind of supposed to be in between those two. And so, go ahead and start off like any other review by looking at the jar. This is it. This is Shear Revival Easy Tiger Firm Hold Pomade with like a camera image, because this is a reference to the Spectacular Spider-Man. Obviously, I had to look that up and didn't get that right away. But it's a very beautiful label, metallic ink and everything. Like, Shear Revival actually went through a recent label change on all their products. They all now have this like metallic sheen like to the ink, and it's fucking beautiful. And this is still your standard like 4-ounce jar, amber glass, like all their other products. You have instructions and kind of just their other images on the left side with ingredients on the right side. Opening it up, you see the product has a similar like yellow tint to all their other oil-based pomades, so it's still within the family. And so what we're really expecting is similar performance, or rather familiar performance, but ideally a balance between the medium and the heavy. So let's start using it. The smell of this pomade, like, it really reminds me of when old dudes did Mountain Dudes. And so what I'm talking about is like, it has a little more of like a citrus like tone to it, and it has this like kind of herbal spice that really like mimics like carbonated soda for some reason, just like that kind of bite that it has. And so it's like a citrus like kind of scent with like a little bit of like an attitude to it, and it's actually really nice, very present and pleasant, but still subtle in a way, not really that loud at all. But anyways, scooping it out, like, you'll definitely notice like it has like a little toughness to it, but it's like not hard at all to break down. It's also very easy to break down in your hands, but of course, just like with like the Music or Misery, more so, you definitely like feel like the wax of it, and then you feel it as you're applying it, but like it's not difficult at all. Like, yesterday we reviewed a Malaysian pomade that was like definitely high in like the wax content, and that made it slightly difficult to apply. This is not the case here, because though we still have like a high wax content, or well, relatively, there's still like a lot of oils that make it a lot easier to apply. And because it's an oil base, we'll definitely not want to go overboard and kind of just like apply just as much as we really need to work with. And so I'll probably get away with just one more scoop after this one, assuming I can apply it down in the middle where I actually really need it. But yeah, it's I mean, you definitely feel the wax as you're applying it. I'm not saying that like it's like applying like a light hold or anything, but it's more than possible. Scooping it out, like, I mean, I remember when I first used it, like initially through the first layer, you will like kind of break through like a slightly harder layer, but it's not like much like significantly different. It's just slightly. I remember when home brewers first started, that top layer used to be a significant thing. Like, it used to be like a rock hard wax layer, but over time, like, they figured out what they needed to do to fix that, and it's not like much of an issue anymore. It's just like a small thing that sometimes happens, and sometimes we notice. But anyways, if it applied, we'll go ahead and start combing everything back. Alright, now of course we'll start styling it. And this is what we get. Something very beautiful and like really easy to style with. Because when I hear firm hold, what I really expect is something that's like strong and like really like good in regards to strength, hold, and volume, but also like on the light, medium to light weight. Because with a heavy, then I expect heavy weight, heavy hold, strong hold, something really resilient, but firm hold, something that's really like optimal in regards to strength or weight. And that's what we really see here. Like it's a very strong pomade, just to get something very tall, yet like light in like regards to the weight, so I can get something that's extremely well shaped. It's not really blocked, and you can really just optimize on that height. This is also like the shine right now is very neutral. This is very difficult to achieve with like an oil-based pomade without like adding clay to it, and it's like very few times we see this, and this is something they really did go for, and so hats off to them. Like it's definitely a neutral shine. The slickness is also just very minimal. It's just enough to style like a clean pomp, while it's still kind of just like not being overly slick. So that's not all you can do. It's actually a pretty versatile product, just because it's like it reminds me a lot more of the really wax heavy oil based pomades, where it's really versatile because it's like pretty neutral in regards to everything but like the hold, allowing you to go almost any direction that you really want to. And so kind of tying that all together, the control and it just being like an oil based pomade makes it a very freaking easy to use product. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary in regards to like the performance aspects that would surprise you, make it difficult. It's very like just good, provides a lot of hold, and is also just really super intuitive and easy to use, which is honestly sometimes it's just like I use like water-based pomades and clay pomades like all the time now, like every day, and it's very rare for me to move back to an oil base. But sometimes you move back to an oil base and you're like, oh yes, it's like inconvenient in regards to like if you want to wash something out, it gets everything dirty. But sometimes if you can find one like this that's like not super greasy, not super like just overly slick, it can remind you that like shit's like pretty easy and intuitive to use. It's like some optimal characteristics that sometimes it's almost impossible to replicate in other products. But yeah, so anyways, we go throughout the whole day now, and we'll talk about the more also some other interesting or very important aspects, which is like the endurance, whether you can restyle off it and whatnot. So see you guys in a few hours. So we're nearing the end of the day now, and we'll go ahead and wrap up this review. Basically, like midway through the day, I decided to go ahead and like test out like a looser type of pump because it seemed as though it was faring pretty well in regards to like endurance. So I decided, hey, let's go ahead and test something out. Let's see what it's like to restyle. And as you can like clearly see, the volume is still definitely there. And you can also get a pretty nice like loose like kind of like look with it. I mean, it's still not a clay pomade, but still, this is like a pretty dry, very versatile product, making it basically kind of giving you the ability to do whatever you want with it almost. And so what we see is basically like, this is like really good volume to have like late into the day now. I'd say like super late into the day, you probably have basically about like 75% of like the amount of hold you had in the morning, which is very impressive. It's a little easier to do with an oil base versus a water base, but still, this is still very impressive. Restyling it, you will notice the product softens up. It's not as waxy and as dry as before. It's softened up. It's not greasier, but it has softened up definitely without a doubt. And so it's really nice. It's kind of just touch. It's always really smooth, never hard to any extent. And yeah, now removing the product from your hair, it takes about like 2 to 4 showers depending on what kind of shampoo you use and how hard you scrub and how much product you put in, obviously. But I would say about 2 to 4, 2 being the fastest, 4 being like kind of, if you're really trying to remove it, that should be as long as it should take. Build up on the other hand, like this is some pretty good, like nice dry waxiness. Like definitely the wax is what stays. The grease gets removed for the most part, but you will have like a nice base to work with additionally the next day if you continue to choose to do like the whole like oil based build up and easy tiger over and over. But yeah, overall, like this receives my seal approval hands down. I would actually probably prefer easy tire over Music of Misery just because of its lightweightness. Like, it's difficult to make, like, there are lightweight oil-based pomades in regard to like a light hold and like a really greasy slick thing, but there's not many that are actually light in regards to like the weight, where you can really take advantage of that, really get a lot of volume, and just like not have to deal with like a lot of greasiness during the day, because this stays like pretty dry. Because like I run my hands through it and I don't mind, because it's not a super greasy feel afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it's basically just one of the most versatile oil bases I've ever used, and so definitely receives my seal of approval just because of that. I would highly recommend it if you're considering, I mean, if you don't need an oil base for its heavyweightiness. Heavyweightiness really makes this, if this was like Music of Misery, it's even more resilient, it stays even more in shape, and you get like a clean, dense pomp. But if that's not what you're looking for something that's kind of strong and lightweight, like just a firm hold, oil base like this would be a damn good choice. But yeah, so obviously you have the promo code THEPOMP if you guys choose to buy this. This is not available on the approved list as of right now, so going direct with Shear is probably the best way. Use a promo code THEPOMP, save a little bit of money, and hope you guys got something out of this review. Oh shoot, forgot to update you guys in the beginning. Review is basically over now. We've added a few new partners onto the promo code, and so now those are available to you as always. And we're continuing looking for more people to kind of basically just work with and then help you guys, our viewers, just out of the kindness of our hearts. But yeah, remember, always support homebrewers and small businesses, and peace out, guys.